Sujata. Hey, congratulations on your film definition, please.
Thank you so much, Gig.
Hey, not a problem, especially the fact that everyone's going to get to have a chance to see it on Netflix pretty soon, which is pretty awesome feeling for you.
It's definitely incredible. You know, as an independent filmmaker, you don't really expect that when you're making a film. You expect, it to play in a couple theaters in New York and Los Angeles for a week or so, and then suddenly disappears into the ether. So to have it be out on such a huge platform as Netflix with Ava and Array behind us is pretty awesome.
I love this film. This film is so heartwarming and dramatic at the same time. But what sparked you to write this story?
I won my fourth grade spelling bee and I moved on to regionals, and I lost in the first round on the word radish, and I spelled it with two D's instead of one, which was pretty devastating. I obviously remember that for the rest of my life. And fast forward to 2015, when I was in a UCB Upright Citizens Brigade sketch writing class, and we had to churn out new scripts every week. So one of my sketch ideas was called "Where Are They Now? Spelling Bee Winners." And if you Google any of the past spelling bee champions, they're all doing amazing things right now. They're working at NASA, they're designing robots, they're winning the World Poker Tour. And the punchline of my sketch was that one of these ex-spelling bee winners grew up into a young woman and turned out to not achieve her potential. And she was still living at home, stuck in a rut, smoking weed, chilling with her friends. And that 4-page sketch was the initial idea for the feature film of Definition, Please.
I'm curious, how did you pull those words out for your film? Were they like lingering in your head for such a long time that you're like, you know what, I want to use this complex word that no one has ever heard of?
They were definitely not lingering in my head for a very long time. They were words that were winning words in spelling bees of years past. So I use those words specifically in my film and kind of match them to the themes and the story of what was going on with the characters after I had found those words.
Wow, that is excellent. The best thing about this film is that sibling rivalry. Could you talk about inputting that story into Definition, please, and finding the right brother to play along with you in Ritesh?
I love independent film. So I was inspired by a lot of sibling dramas / dramedies that I watched in the past. Skeleton Twins, The Savages, You Can Count on Me, a lot of Duplass brothers movies that deal with characters and relationships. And I noticed that there aren't a lot of sibling movies out there. So I wanted to focus on that. And in terms of casting Ritesh Rajan to play Sunny, he was such a natural choice for me. I had met him. We shot the film in summer of 2019. So I met him a few years before then through a mutual friend, AJ Raphael, who's an incredible singer, songwriter. And when we met through AJ, we realized that Ritesh and I had both auditioned for the live action Aladdin. And AJ was putting on a live show, and he asked us to sing A Whole New World for the live show. And I said, listen, I'm not going to sing the song as it is. Do you mind if I change up the lyrics and we make a parody version of the song, and then we can sing that? So the song turned out to be called A Diverse Film about inclusivity in Hollywood. And it's up on YouTube. Anybody can see it. And Tesh and I had such a great time working on that project together and recording the song and filming the video that I already knew that we had really good chemistry. And so when it came to the casting of Sonny, he popped up in my head right away. And I was really excited to meet up with him and talk to him about the project, and then ultimately ask him to be in the film.
That is great. And speaking of diversity and inclusivity, tell us about this being a great South Asian film, because we don't see a lot of South Asian films in American cinema, and how you wanted to basically, I don't want to say like low key, but put in Indian culture into a film like this.
I've been in Hollywood for a little over 10 years now, and as an actor, I've auditioned for a lot of roles, most of them very stereotypical, having to put on an accent, wearing a headscarf, even though I'm not Muslim, I'm Hindu. And I was tired of the same old stories being told about us in Western media. And, we're not all getting arranged married. That seems to be a popular theme. And I wanted to show that South Asian Americans are not a monolith, and we're all very different from each other. And I specifically focused on me growing up as a Bengali American kid. My parents are from Calcutta. I'm fluent in Bengali. And if you notice, India has so many different types of Indians. So we have Gujaratis and Punjabis and South Indians and Bengalis and 40 more. And we all have a lot of similarities, but also have differences. And it was exciting to be so specific in my characters and not focus on the conflict being about the culture, being about, oh, I'm not this enough, or I'm not that enough. I wanted it to focus on characters and relationships and have the culture be there, so that it just adds a nice touch. And it's how I grew up. I grew up in the middle of Pennsylvania in a small town called Greensburg. And I feel so lucky that there was a thriving Indian American community there, because there are 3 temples in that region. So during the week, I was hanging out with my school friends, and on the weeknights and weekends, I was at the temple at dance classes. I was going to Hindu temple summer camp in Lake Erie, and going to graduations and birthday parties and celebrations for our community. So I never had to choose between 2 cultures. And I wanted to have my story kind of rest in that space of the conflict is about people and relationships, as opposed to a conflict about your background.
That is great to hear. Well, one more thing. This is your directorial feature film debut, which is congratulations to you. So you direct, you act, you paint, you play the accordion. Is there anything you can't do?
I'm not good at sports. I've always wanted to be good at sports. In middle school and high school, I tried out for every single sport. I actually made the 8th grade basketball team, but not because I was talented. It's because the coach noticed that I was working really hard. And then in high school, I tried out for the swim team. I tried out for cheerleading. I tried out for tennis and got cut during tryouts. And so I wish I was really good at sports, but I'm not.
Well, we can't tell with that how you jump on over hurdles, but that's for another story. But anyways, hey, thank you very much for speaking to us about the definition, please. I'm going to ask my friends on how to get that board game, because that looks like a lot of fun in the film.
Yeah, I think you could it's a carom board. And if you have local Indian stores around you, you can go in and they might have one in the back.
It's funny. Yeah, I know. I was going to say, I kind of live, all my neighbors are Indian in this neighborhood. So there's 3 markets like within a mile here. So
amazing. They'll definitely have a carom board for you.
All right. Well, anyways, thank you very much for talking to us about definition, please. I can't wait to speak to you on your next project.
Thank you so much, Gig. This was awesome.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye.